Hello, welcome all. Welcome to Ojas Tattva. Today we will talk about autism and Ayurveda, a brief introduction. So let's see the definition of ASD. So autism spectrum disorder, it's a neurological and developmental disorder where people have challenges with social interaction and communication. There are many symptoms that is associated with ASD. Most familiar one would be the social skills, lacking of the social skills. You would see kids with this repetitive behavior, mostly getting on the hyperactivity side, throwing tantrums, randomly blurting some words, sometimes randomly smiling for no reason, or staring at empty spaces. And also, we have noticed that kids would be walking with tippy-toeing or trying to run tippy-toeing. So those are some of the symptoms. Not necessarily you will see all of them, but a range of these would be mostly seen in kids with ASD. What has been alarming is a study done by CDC in United States. The number of kids being diagnosed as ASD has gone up by 300% in the last 20 years. So, which is very alarming and saddening. And definitely awareness has gone up, but that's not the only reason these things are coming out. There's something to do with our diet, lifestyle, and how we are going about in our day-to-day life has also to do with the ASD diagnosis. So some of the risk factors are definitely the age at which the parents are conceiving. The later in the life they try to conceive kid, the higher the risk of kid being diagnosed as ASD. There are other risk factors such as environmental pollutants that's been introduced into our food chain, maybe through the GMO, pesticides, chemicals, metals, something getting introduced into our food, and we consuming for a longer period of time would increase the risk factor. Now, good thing is if we have diagnosed this early enough, there is a range of services that can be provided to the kid, right from speech, occupational, physical, feeding to social group therapy services that can drastically improve the day-to-day behavior as well as some of the motor skills, speaking, feeding, all those can be improved. Now, what I would like to introduce is another modality in addition to these therapy services called as Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a 5,000 plus year old ancient medicinal system originated in India. It has been around for a long time in the East and has been widely practiced. In West, it's just getting a little bit recognition. And the fundamental principle of Ayurveda is to live in accordance to the law of nature, not to do anything against the nature, right? And then Ayurveda principles hinges on this five fundamental elements, which is space, air, fire, water, and earth. So any living organism or non-living, you would find this five fundamental elements in those organisms, right? It's just that some of them may have one element more dominant compared to other. So let's talk about kids with ASD. The main element that gets out of balance is fire element. Now that's what Ayurveda focuses on. Any element that gets out of balance, we try to bring balance to that element. So fire is correlated to digestive system, your entire process of digestion, absorption, as well as transformation of the food, whatever we consume, which gets transformed into nutritional fluid and getting absorbed into our tissues. So that entire process is the responsibility of the fire element. So Ayurveda recommends to work on correcting this fire element first. And it can be done by through a series of interventions. We'll talk about that. But a modern study on gut-brain axis has been emerged. It's been there for quite some time, but there is a lot more talk you would see. There is a lot of researches done, as well as there are books being published, documentaries on gut-brain axis. What it says is there is a second brain in our body, which is residing in the gut. And this gut microbiome, these are the bacteria, they send signals to our brain. And then you based on that you would perform any activity, right? So all those cravings for ice cream, chocolates, whatever, that's all coming from your gut. So Ayurveda knew this long before, and in Ayurveda many disorders they are corrected by correcting your gut. right? So we will focus on that. So we can focus, as per Ayurveda principle, we would work on diet, some lifestyle modification. We would introduce some herbs and then a series of Panchakarma steps. If we follow this and we can do this periodically, there will be a lot more improvement in the kids' behavior and we can better manage this. The earlier detected, the more positive the result is. And if you intervene early enough, right? So diet, we understand that both parents working, it's very hard to have cooked food. But Ayurveda recommends not to have processed or any packaged frozen foods or something that's been in the fridge for a long time. So we recommend that you cook fresh food, locally sourced if possible, and lighter food for the kid to digest easily. Right. Similarly, we can do herbs, diet, and panchakarma under the guidance of a practitioner or a Vaidya. With this, definitely we'll see a lot more positive result in the kid. I hope you enjoyed this video and this was informational. Stay tuned for more informational video on this channel. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.